Unit 7, question number 8. So question number 8 wants us to write the trinomial in factored form. Alright? So you know that factored form is two pairs of, parentheses. Okay? So I put my x and my x because x multiplied by x gives me x squared. Now I need to figure out all the numbers that multiply together to give me 18. Those numbers are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay? So now we need to figure out what pair is going to add or subtract to give me a 3. Well, 3 and 6 has a difference of 3, so those are the number that could possibly give me a 3. Okay? You can check that by doing 6 plus 3, that's 9. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay? So again, we can know that that pair will give me a 3. Because if we subtract it, we get 3. Okay? Now you need to figure out the signs. Anytime you have a negative here, that means you're going to have different signs. This sign right here tells me that the bigger number will have a negative sign. So 6 is the bigger number, so the 6 will have a negative sign, the 3 will be positive. And that is the answer. So again, pretty straightforward. You don't need to flip this because the question wants you to write factored form. It does not want the value of x, so you do not need to flip anything. Alright? So next question. Again, we're going to put it into factored form, which is two pairs of parentheses. Okay? I'm going to first put my x and my x in the front because x times x gives me x squared. Okay? Now I'm going to find all the numbers that multiply to give me 50. Those numbers are 1 and 50, 2 and 25, 3 does not work, 4 does not work, but 5 and 10 works. Okay? So those are all the pairs that multiply to give me 50. Now I need to figure out which one would add or subtract to give me 5. 1 and 50 would not work. 2 and 25 would not work. 5 and 10 would. Because again, if we did 10 plus 5, even though that gives me 15, 10 minus 5 is 5. And we needed 5. So I'll put the 10 and the 5. Does it matter where I put the numbers? No. What matters is the signs. Whenever you see a negative here, that means it's going to have different signs. And whatever this is, the bigger number will have that sign. So the bigger number is going to have a positive sign. Which one is bigger, 10 or 5? The 10. So the 10 is going to have a positive sign, and then the other one is going to be different. Alright? So again, just like that. You don't need to flip it because you're not finding x, you're finding factored form. And again, this is factored form. Alright? So now let's do the last question. So again, factored form, two pairs of parentheses. Put your x and your x, because x times x gives me x squared. Now I need to find all the numbers that multiply together to give me a. So again, what gives me 6 is 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Those are the only pairs that multiply together to give me 6. Okay? Now I need to figure out what pair would add or subtract to give me 5. But if you realize, if I added 1 and 6, that gives me 7. But if I subtracted them, I get 5. But guys, if you did the same with 2 and 3, if you added them, you get 5. Even though when you subtract, you get -1. It does also give you 5. Alright? So both of these pairs could work. Alright? So what we're going to do is that we're going to try to figure out the signs that they have to be so that we can have an idea as to what numbers we're going to select. Okay? In this case, we don't see a negative right here. We see a positive. When you see a positive right here, you don't think about different, you think about same. Okay? So they need to be the same signs. Whatever this is, that's the sign that they both need to be. So they both should be a negative. So let's go and let's test if we make both of them a negative, what would we get for the result? So if I had a negative 6 and a negative 1, what's negative 6 minus 1? Negative 7. But we wanted negative 5. So probably the 6 and the 1 would not work. What if we tried, however, negative 2 and negative 3? What's negative 2 minus 3? That is negative 5. So that's the one that I would use. A negative 2 and a negative 3. Alright? Because negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. And when you multiply negative 2 and negative 3, that will give me positive 6 when you multiply. Alright? So again, guys, this is the result. Alright? Good luck, guys.